All right, y'all, it's 137. That's the 33rd prime number. Dolly Parton, Tim Curry, and of course the connections to the ongoing Illuminati eclipse ritual matrix and ritual sacrifices. Let's get into it, folks. Dolly, what do you got?
Well, hey, it's me. I'm finally going to get my vaccine. I'm so excited. I've been waiting a while. I'm old enough to get it, and I'm smart enough to get it. So I'm very happy that I'm going to get my Moderna shot today. And I wanted to tell everybody that you should get out there and do it too. I even changed one of my songs to fit the occasion. It goes, vaccine, 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 vaccine. I'm begging of you, please don't hesitate. Vaccine, 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 vaccine. Because once you're dead, then that's a bit too late. I know I'm trying to be funny now, but I'm dead serious about the vaccine. I think we all want to get back to normal, whatever that is, and that would be a great shot in the arm.
Oh, I bet you are dead serious.
If we could get back to that. But anyhow, I just wanted to encourage everybody, because the sooner we get to feeling better, the sooner we are going to get back to being normal. So I just want to say to all of you cowards out there, don't be such a chicken squat. Get out there and get shot. Think you got it?
I got it.
Okay. That didn't hurt. Just stung a little bit, but that was from the alcohol pad, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, I did it. I did it.
Thanks, Mike.
See you next.
Get these delivered? It's literally water.com.
Of course, as usual. Let's get into it, though. Durbin poison, ironically, perfect. Cut says the Jesuits are taking out 80-year-old celebrities now. Buy the code. Yeah, indeed, of course. Skull and Bones has more connections this time. Indeed. Let's get into it, folks. Get into it. Crazy connections I got to present to y'all. But first, let's have a little lighthearted humor. Why not, right?
We are undeniably the two best sluts to ever grace the earth. Now, direct us immediately to the VIP section. We have an appointment to swap secrets with the first slut, Mary Magdalene, and honey, her wardrobe is in desperate need of some sequins. Step aside, darling. The guest list has just been upgraded. You see me and Dolly Parton? We are undeniably the two best sluts to ever grace the earth. Now, direct us immediately to the VIP section. We have an appointment to...
Now, in case you weren't aware, this is a very interesting find here. There was a film, a mockumentary, if you will, called Jackie's Back. And guess who was in this mockumentary? Well, you guessed it. You guessed it. If you guessed Dolly and Tim, you might be right. Check this out, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and get ready for the century. It's the one and only Jackie Washington.
Where's Jackie Washington? I am twice as interesting as Jackie Washington.
Oh, I love Jackie. She's a great singer. Come on, but an actress, she's not. She has anti-control.
I remember Licorice Whip. That was one of the worst movies of the 70s. And I just remember one lady behind got up and she goes, I can't take it. I can't take it. You know, refund. And I just remember later on, I found out that was Jackie's mother.
What can I say about that movie? It sucked.
A lot of people
There he is, right after Dolly. What a coincidence, huh?
didn't forgive Jackie for what happened with the milkman. You know, I mean, she stabbed him.
Rams running back Milkman Summers has sustained a stab wound to the head with a deadly afro pick. Can we have a word with you, Jackie?
I don't want to talk to you people.
You know, occasionally I have these musical evenings at my house. Jackie owes me so much money, so much. She owes me jewelry, clothes. One time somebody brought Jackie, and she sang, Jackie Washington took my body. And she sang, Compared to Jackie Washington's life, my life seems sedate. She sang.
Mama needs a pause from that second. Make it a double, 100.
A first hit. You know where that came? That came from me.
Give me sugar. Give me honey. Give me some. Give me money. Ow, ow, ow. Give me a hand, some sugar. I told you the vamp. Got a cramp?
It's an all-star cast directed by Robert Townsend, starring Jennifer Lewis, David Pierce, Tim Curry, Whoopi Goldberg, and special appearances by Diane Carroll, Tom Arnold, Melissa Etheridge, Dolly Parton, Liza Minnelli, Rosie O'Donnell, Howie Mandel, Jackie Collins, Chris Rock, Benny Marshall, Bette Midler, Charles Barkley, and many, many more. Jackie's back.
Jackie's back. I love him more than Snickers. I can tell you that, okay? That's something for me.
You know, what's funny about that, too, right, is isn't Rosie O'Donnell back in the spotlight out of nowhere all of a sudden? Isn't that just so perfectly, incredibly coincidental, as Cuts would say? People in their 80s just die. There's no conspiracy. The fact that everything connects and aligns perfectly and that they died in the same day. You know, the fact that Tim Curry died on Macaulay Culkin's birthday when he was like the bellhop in Home Alone 2. You know, the movie with Trump also in it. Right. Just a coincidence, folks. Just back to your regular scheduled programming. She was 80 vax and no one, not one. Okay, that sentence doesn't make sense. Vax or not, who cares? It's an old bag. Definitely wasn't a Gematria ritual. All right. Anyway, we're getting into it, folks. 6 foot, 7 foot, Dolly me bananas. Dolly's Twin Towers collapsed with her. Allegedly, she worked 9 to 5 and passed on 9:25. Well, it was 8:25, but right, 8:25. Dolly Parton equals 8:25. Daniel, 8:25 is about the beast. Name the Jesuit that did Gematria on her if you're so smart. Sir, your is spelled Y-O-U''RE, just so you know. The date written overseas is 25/8, like President Donald J. Trump, 25/8. Order of Illuminati, 25/8. Number of the beast, 258. Indeed. All right, so let's get into it, folks. What else do we have? What else do we have here? A quickie from Demon Hunter. Shout out to him. Sky Dome Atlantis. And then we'll get into the presentation, folks. Because the connections are undeniable.
I know this issue came up recently, or got a lot of attention recently, when you tried to give some advice to ECLiPSE. In the initial letter that you wrote, the topic of the way the music business prostitutes young female artists was part of that letter. And I was wondering if there was a moment in your own life where you learned that the music business was not on your side and that you had to...
Oh, you know it every single day of your life. The music business is a corrupt, a spiritually corrupt arena. It's full of nothing but vampires and pimps, honestly. It's full of nothing but vampires and pimps, honestly.
Vaccine, 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 vaccine. I'm begging of you, please don't hesitate. Vaccine, 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 vaccine. Because once you're dead, then that's a bit too late. Well, hey, it's me. I'm finally going to get my vaccine. I'm so excited. I've been waiting a while. I'm old enough to get it, and I'm smart enough to get it. So I'm very happy that I'm going to get my Moderna shot today. I know I'm trying to be funny now, but I'm dead serious about the vaccine. I think we all want to get back to normal, whatever that is, and that would be a great shot in the arm, wouldn't it, if we could get back to that. But anyhow, I just wanted to encourage everybody, because the sooner we get to feeling better, the sooner we are going to get back to being normal. So I just want to say to all of you cowards out there, don't be such a chicken squat. Get out there and get shot.
Get your shot. Get your booster. Get your RFID chip at your local Walmart today, folks. I guess I didn't need to play that clip in the beginning because it looks like Demon Hunter included it. Shout out to Demon Hunter. All right, folks. Without further ado, it's already 8:27 into the stream on 8:27. Let me see. Did I have one more video here to show? Again, we just watched the trailer for Jackie's Back, the mockumentary with, of course, none other than Dolly Parton and Tim Curry. What are the chances? And then just to add to it, of course, Rosie O'Donnell, who's been completely out of the spotlight for quite some time. And sure enough, she was in that mockumentary, and now you see her back in the spotlight once again. But we've got a lot to get into, as I've said. I'm not even sharing the screen. I always do this. So Holly Weird strikes again. We got Lex in the house. We're 9 minutes and 11 seconds into the stream. So I just wanted to show some of the optics, right? So as you can see here, Dolly and Tim Curry die on the same day, right? The same day of Aaliyah's 25-year death anniversary. It was also Billy Ray Cyrus's birthday, right? So Dolly, of course, is Miley's godmother. Billy Ray Cyrus, of course, is Miley's father. Well, the thing with Aaliyah that's beyond interesting, right, is, do you guys remember how Aaliyah died? Well, we'll talk about that later. It's in the decode. But guys, don't be such a chicken squat. Trust the experts. You know, trust the science. Get your vax, get your booster. And yeah, again, just don't be such a chicken squat. as Dolly so eloquently put it. And now she's, I'm sure, very happy with her words there, with her wise choice of words. Again, so we had the August 12th eclipse. We had the August 16th passing, allegedly, of Hayden Panettiere at 36, like how Princess Diana died at 36 in August, like how Marilyn Monroe died at 36 in August. All blonde white women, of course, quote unquote white women, right? Anyway, August 25th, of course, we have the passing of Dolly Parton and Tim Curry. 9 days after Hayden, right? 9, the number of completion. And again, Dolly Parton on Billy Ray Cyrus's birthday, Tim Curry on Macaulay Culkin's birthday, the guy in Home Alone 2, the movie that also has Trump in it. All coincidence, of course, nothing to see here. Back to your regularly scheduled programming. Bah! August 27th and 28th, which we are now upon, is the Saros 138 eclipse, right? Well, we'll get into the connections with the 138 in the decode, but 3 major figures, and of course there's been others, but for now we're talking mostly on we're mostly talking about Dolly tonight, and then we'll come back with some Tim connections and tie it all in, as well as Hayden once again. But let's get to the decode. Oh, again, yeah, time to clone another one. Bah. The Dolly the sheep connections are undeniable as well. Of course, if my computer would load a little faster, that would be great. The Heroes Eclipse, the Brave New World connections, which we are now in, of course. Warning, crazy things ahead, folks. So, without further ado, let's just get into the decode. I always wait so long, and then I might as well just kick it off with the decode. And maybe we'll keep it short and sweet tonight, because that's what people want, I think. So, Dolly, what do you got for us, Dolly? Tell us all about it. Tell us all about it, Jugal. It looks like, okay, so Olderbone says, Tim Curry played Dr. Frankenberger, the mad scientist connected to aliens, ties right into the decode on Dolly. Tim Curry played Dr. Frankenfurter. Okay, that's the same comment there. And I'm just now looking him up. He was the Sweet Transvestite 107, Ritual Sacrifice 107. Well, it's too bad there's barely anyone in here, because this information that I've compiled is absolutely insane, to say the least. So let's just get into it, right? So R.I.P. Dolly, like dollar, who was reportedly born at 825, right? And just died on 825. Well, in Gematria, Dolly Parton equals 825. Death equals 25. And Jolene equals 25. I'm not sure why. Anyway, that album, Jolene, is actually 25 minutes and 8 seconds long, right? Like the 25th of August. This is right before the 25th anniversary of 9/11. It was Aaliyah's 25th death anniversary, who allegedly died right before 9/11, like how Dolly just died right before the 25th anniversary of 9/11. Keep in mind, we're also in the time of America 250. Dolly's birthday is 9/11 backwards, January 19th. And does anyone remember how Aaliyah allegedly died? Yep, it was a plane crash. Well, go figure that on top of all of that, in Gematria, Rebecca Dolly Parton equals 9/11. Not once, but twice. And Dolly Parton equals 119, just like her January 19th birthday. So let me just show you what I'm talking about here. Dolly Parton. Oh, you know what? I don't have the extended ciphers on, do I? I don't have the that's right. I don't have the darn. I don't have the extendo ciphers. So let's just get back to it. That's my mistake. Let me see here. Having some tech issues here, unfortunately. So bear with me. All right. So where were we? So even if you don't quote don't believe in Gematria, you don't believe that ABC equals 1, 2, 3. Just like you must not believe that 2 comes after 1 and 3 comes after 2. But even if you quote don't believe in Gematria, Dolly died right before the 25th anniversary of 9/11, on the 25th anniversary of Aaliyah, who allegedly died in a plane crash right before 9/11. Get it? And Dolly's birthday is 1/19. Give me a fucking break. And there's allegedly a tropical storm Dolly brewing right now. You really can't make this shit up, and yet they do every single day. So Dolly's big movie, 9 to 5, released in 1980, right? Like how she's dead in 80, at 80 rather. Well, 9 to 5 equals 119, her birthday. So to continue here, also recall when Dolly sang Jolene with, I wrote Mikey, I meant Miley. When Dolly sang Jolene with Miley Cyrus, maybe that was a slip. Maybe Miley Cyrus really is Mikey Cyrus. But they sang Jolene on The Voice, and right after she was allegedly told that the Tennessee Smoky Mountains were on fire near her home in an obvious fire ritual. Well, fire ritual is another 119, right? She would reportedly go on to raise $8 million for relief efforts. And this happened in November of 2016, right? Like an upside down. You know, one of the worst things about having all the tech issues is that when you want to re-upload maybe just a portion of the stream, and now you can't. So that's unfortunate. But it's funny how when the stream and the laptop crashes, that's when people start to come in here. Bizarre. Try deleting comments that are messed up, but it doesn't delete them for you. Anyway, using 31 ciphers. Cuts, why don't you just take a break, dude? Why don't you go somewhere where you find enjoyment, where you find like something that makes you happy, you know, that's something that is entertaining for you. What are you doing with yourself exactly? Like what does your time consist of? It's bizarre, dude. Like it's just, I don't get it, man. I'm not gonna keep entertaining it in my streams either, dude. I'm just gonna have to block you from the channel because it's kind of it's like, I don't know the word for it. There is no word for it. Let's get back into it, folks. So where were we? Oh, that's right. I would have to share the screen, wouldn't I? All the shit popping up now. All right, let's get back into it. Where were we? We were, come on. Go ahead and load. Yeah, it's time for a new computer. Or at least a, I don't know. Indeed. Some people just don't want to get it. They don't want to get it. It's not that they can't get it or, you know, they don't want to get it. You know who was doxing people? It's not Zach people, and you know it. Well, Zach doesn't know who it is. Anyway, all right. So, where were we? Right. So, 9 to 5. No, we covered that. The fire ritual, where Miley Cyrus and Dolly were singing on The Voice, and right after allegedly Dolly was told, you know, there's a fire and it's near your house, and like she totally didn't know, and it totally wasn't a fire ritual, right? 119, like her birthday. Anyway, so she went on to raise $8 million, a little chump change, you know, help out. I'm sure she didn't pocket that money or give it to her vampire friends, but Dolly the sheep. So let's get into Dolly the sheep, right? Because this is just highly, highly comedic and humorous and satirical. So Dolly the sheep would have been exactly 11,009 days, 11,009 days on Dolly's death. Go figure. Like Dolly, born on 119. Again, a total coincidence, as Cuts would say. Nothing to see, no meaning to it. Absolutely coincidental. Everything's a coincidence. Nothing means anything. Write that date a different way, right? And it was 23 years, 6 months, and 11 days, right? So you have your 9/11 there with your 6/11, your upside down 9/11, and you have that 2319 code again that we've been talking so much about, right? Like how the World Cup was exactly 2319 days after COVID-19, which was 19 years after 19 hijackers on 9/11, right? And of course, it was Spain that won the World Cup that day. That was 2319 days after COVID-19. And of course, that was their 23rd. That was the 23rd World Cup. And they had previously won the 19th World Cup. So they won the 23rd and the 19th World Cup, 2319 days after COVID-19, in the time when James Franco went viral pointing to a piece of paper with 2319 on it, as well as the time where the number 23 movie with Jim Carrey is 19 years old. We've covered this. There's so much more to it as well. Again, all the 19s, right, with Messi passing down the GOAT status to Mr. Yamal, number 19, when Messi was formerly number 19, and then Messi would go on to allegedly lose his father 19 days after the World Cup, on and fucking on. And his dad's name is Jorge Messi, like Jorge Mario, like Pope Francis, whose last name is Bergoglio. Now we have Pope Leo. We just had Hayden Panettiere, the Leo, die in the time of the Leo eclipse. On and fucking on, man. So recall all the recent 1923 and 2319 connections, as I just stated some of. I mean, that's just a portion of them. Anyway, so the seed of life equals 119. Think clones, people, right? The seed of life, DNA, which is very fitting considering how we started off the stream with the vaccine. So Dolly the sheep also linked to 9/11, right? Remember that Trump Serta commercial, the Serta mattress commercial? Do I need to show that? I guess I will.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that way you guys aren't just staring at text the whole time. So in case you haven't seen it, Trump Serta commercial with the sheep. Let's check this out really quick. Counting sheep, folks.
So what do you think of my Trump Home mattress collection by Serta? Finally, the same luxury and comfort I demand in my hotels.
Oh, they'll never count sheep again.
Listen, why don't you come work for me?
What do you have in mind?
Something you were born to do.
Welcome to room 9.
Looking good, number 9. Looking good.
Where's your dignity?
Save now on this Trump Home Luxury Suites mattress during the Serta Luxury Suite Savings Event, now through Labor Day.
There you have it, folks. In case you weren't aware, there you have it. So back to it. So Dolly the sheep, clearly you see the mockery there, right? But remember that Trump is Janus, right? The Gemini. This is like riddle inception, folks. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen Utopia, the UK version, where the name of the injection, if you will, in the show is called Janus. Yeah. That was pre-programming to the highest caliber, because I would say Utopia may have been the, pandemic, plandemic, scamdemic, shamdemic, plan demonic, aka demonic plan. That might have been the single most potent piece of pre-programming for the virus scamdemic we had, even compared to Contagion and Children of Men, all worthwhile examples of prime pre-programming. But it's not over, folks. So Donald equals 119, right? And of course he's POTUS 47, 45, and 47, right? 45 reduces to 9, 47 reduces to 11, of course. Well, Donald John Trump also equals 156, the 911th prime number. And I don't know if you guys were aware of this, but every president's last day in office, allegedly, is January 19th. 119, 9/11 reversed. I mean, what are the chances, right? Totally meaningless, of course. All coincidence. So, more Dolly. The first human clone was announced to the world 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, 5 days before Dolly's death. 12, 34 weeks and 5 days before Dolly's death. Dolly the sheep died 1 month and 19 days after the first human clone was announced. Dolly the sheep, again, would have been exactly 11,009 days on Dolly's death. Dolly born 119. Oh, okay, I accidentally typed this in twice here, I think. Okay, I think I accidentally typed this in twice. That's okay. So if that wasn't crazy enough, right? Dolly the sheep's firstborn was named Bonnie. So first came the total eclipse of the heart, Bonnie Tyler dead before the eclipse, and then Hayden dead right after the eclipse, and now Dolly right before another eclipse, Beyond Wild. But there's more. Dolly Parton died 6 weeks and 6 days. Where am I at? Oh, sorry. Dolly Parton died 6 weeks and 6 days after Bonnie Tyler, or 1 month, 2 weeks, 3 days. Let me see what you're saying here really quick. You're right. Doxing isn't a YouTube glitch. You're right. That's true, Cuts. So anyway, Dolly's 81st birthday would have been this upcoming 119, right? When the calendar reaches 740,000 elapsed days. 74, right? And unfortunately I had a bunch of 74 connections and I don't know what happened to them with Dolly and tying it into, of course, a lot of the 74s that we know, right? Gematria equals 74, Masonic, Jesus, etc., etc., etc. Occult. But Dolly died, to tie into the 74 though, Dolly died 74 days after Trump's birthday. Or 2 months, 1 week, 6 days, right? For a 216, which of course is 6 times 6 times 6. So how many connections do I need to show you for you to see this pattern? Dolly's song, right? She sang a song with Rob Halford, the lead singer from Judas Priest. Today is his yesterday would have been his, her birthday was her death day was his 75th birthday, right? The lead singer of Judas Priest's 75th birthday was Dolly's death day. Judas Priest, like Jesuit order, aka Society of Jesus, aka Society of Judas. They're literally called Judas Priest. You get it? Well, go figure. She died at 80, exactly 80 days before Arturo Sosa, before his birthday, aka the Black Pope, aka the Superior General of the Jesuits. Another coincidence, of course. Nothing to see here, folks. So, fun fact, the total eclipse was written for, Total Eclipse of the Heart was written for Vampires in Love. And Dolly was a silent producer on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So, interesting connection and crossover there. I thought, finding that connection. So, it was also Gene Simmons' birthday, the lead singer of Kiss, aka Knights in Satan's Service, as many refer to them, right? They would denounce that that's what it stands for, of course, but Knights in Satan's Service, a band famously accused of hiding their connections to the Church of Satan and their use of backmasking, right? Encoding messaging backwards in the music, much like many of the rock and roll legends, even Led Zeppelin, as much as I don't enjoy saying that because I grew up on Zeppelin and still listen to this day from time to time. But so again, Gene Simmons, he turned 77 on Dolly's death day and on Judas Priest lead singer's 75th birthday as well. And it was Macaulay Culkin's birthday, but we'll get into that on the Tim Curry decode. Of course, what are the chances, right, that Tim Curry would die on Macaulay Culkin's birthday when he's the fucking bellhop guy or whatever he plays in Home Alone 2 when Trump's in that movie as well? Total coincidence, again. But the 77 number, right, of course, reminding as we come up on this 9/11 big 25, right, big quarter century anniversary mile marker, if you will. So a reminding, of course, of the insane 77 riddle on 9/11, right? They said that Flight 77 crashed into the 77-foot tall Pentagon, which is on the 77th meridian, 77 minutes after takeoff on a date that many consider to be 7/11 because the calendar's off, right? We're supposedly 2 months off. Others say we're actually only like it's more like a week or something off. But again, 7/11, 7 times 11, 77. Well, Donald J. Trump equals 77, not once but twice in Gematria. President Donald Trump equals 77, and Donald John Drumpf equals 77. So, just insanity, folks. Layers on layers. All right, I'm gonna give Cuts a little timeout because he's just completely clogging the chat. Let me waste my time reading a couple of your comments to just sometimes people blaming the wrong people. Yeah, dude, just take a break. We're not talking about we're not talking about any of those people. Just take a break, dude. Relax. You're hogging the chat, man. So. Dolly's goddaughter, Miley Cyrus, which of course is not her real name, but she's got a very interesting name actually. But Dolly's goddaughter, Miley Cyrus, is 33 right now, and just go figure that Dolly also died on Miley's dad's, Billy Ray Cyrus's birthday. It was 33 days before the Jesuit order's birthday. This coming September 27th, right? Funny because 9 times 3 is 27. 927. Interesting. Anyway, Miley Cyrus's birth name, Destiny Hope Cyrus, equals 80, like Dolly's death age, and like Satan equals 80. So to continue here, her, and I put a question mark after her, of course, rightfully so. Her debut, its debut, Hello, I'm Dolly. That title equals 142, right? Well, this eclipse will supposedly be 1 minute and 42 seconds long. And it's also like 14/2 Valentine's Day, which will be the Super Bowl, right? The Super Bowl, the Superb Owl. Disney just actually did that collab with the NFL. And actually from the day they first announced the collab on July 16th to the next Super Bowl is exactly 214 days. You can't make this shit up. Well, to continue, Hello, I'm Dolly also equals 852, her death date in reverse. 852 is 25/8 backwards. Well, Dolly equals doll, which equals 258. Again, that 25/8 backwards. Or sorry, not backwards, forwards. It's right there. There's her death date, right in Dolly and doll. So number of the beast equals 258, as I think Bones brought up earlier. Dolly also died. It was also Neil Armstrong's birthday. Or wait, was it his death day? Hold on a second. I think I had that right. I think it was his birthday, right? It was either his birthday or his death day. Well, anyway, the Hello Dolly musical's title track, Hello Dolly, was made by Louis Armstrong. So she dies on Neil Armstrong's birthday or death day. And then Hello Dolly's musical track was made by Louis Armstrong. Wake up, Neil. You see this? I mean, I'm curious to look in. Did she ever meet Lance Armstrong, the bicyclist? Did they have a thing together? I don't know. Anyway, I also heard, I didn't include this here, but I also heard that there was a famous, back when Neil Armstrong like landed on the moon or something, there was some special going on where Dolly was on TV and supposedly stopped her special or something to go watch to go watch the moon landing or something. So just go figure how interwoven and interlaced these rituals are that something like that would play out like that. Let me see what you're saying here. Zach doesn't realize who it is, and you've been blaming the wrong people. Let it go. Yeah, he's not gonna let it go. He's stuck on something, man. And his spelling's terrible as well. Tim Curry, aka Mr. Hector in Home Alone 2, was the concierge, right, in the hotel Trump appeared in, right? Just a coincidence, of course, that he died at 80, like Dolly died at 80, both on the same day when they're both in the same mockumentary called Jackie's Back at the time that Trump is also 80. I mean, total coincidence. Unbelievable that Cuts is in that deep of a level of cognitive dissonance, willful ignorance, and Stockholm syndrome, Dunning-Kruger effect. I feel for you, man. I've been there, I think, when I was, much, much younger, but believe Jesuit are doing Gematria case. Wording celebrities, it's your religion, I suppose. What if it's not Jesuits doing Gematria? What if it's a computer that they are in control of? What if again, as I bring up all the time, what if the opening scene in Angels and Demons with a Jesuit at CERN is more truth in plain sight than probably any other dystopian movie? I wonder. And not a bunch of Jesuits in a crypt or in a tomb or in a, a mosque or church or whatever doing number crunching, I wonder if that's possibly possible. 825 also equals 33. She died in Brentwood, Tennessee. Is Brentwood, right, Brentwood's like a town within Nashville, right? Because they were saying she died in Nashville, but yeah, I'm pretty sure Brentwood's like a town within Nashville. But Brentwood, Tennessee, 222, perfect, man. Order out of chaos, 222, the order of the 33. See how it's full circle? Death date, right. Some also call it a super bowl, all right. Dolly Parton Dean, 1056, her full name, singer Dolly Parton, 1056, like Donald J. Trump. Extraterrestrial, 1056, which, yeah, she, her, it, him, whatever, it definitely may have been that, for sure. It was the same day Neil Armstrong died, Neil A, like alien, exactly. Go figure that. Neil A backwards is alien. Perfectly in order as well. Not even scrambled. Total coincidence, of course. It all ties back to the DNA, my friend. It all ties back. In particular, certainly you can use Gematria on the computer doing the Gematria. Smoky Mountain DNA 223 and 88. Masonic 223. Skull and Crossbones 223. Trump 88. Her album. I'm not being mean, but cuts is not okay. Seriously, I used to be so happy as a stoner. Now he's just angry all the time. Yeah, I'm about to pack a bowl here too. But let me get back to the decode because it's quite extensive. Brentwood is actually an actual city within Nashville, and that's where she passed. Right. Okay. So let's get back to it. So I just want to catch up with you guys for a second there. So again, so from Trump's 80th birthday to Dolly's death was 2 months, 1 week, 4 days, right? I Will Always Love You, the release date, anniversary, was 6 months and 14 days before her death. Trump's birthday, and they're both 80, right? So again, Dolly was born, or no, I didn't bring this up. Dolly was born 146 to add to the 614, 14, 6. Dolly was born 146 days before Trump was born on 14/6. The script, man, the script is just undeniable. So Jolene, her 13th, of course, 13, right? Like Taylor Swift's favorite number, like how Dolly just before, not long before she allegedly died, was asking for, that she was saying that she wants Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's baby. Well, Jolene's 13th album, Dolly's 13th album, Jolene, is 25 minutes and 8 seconds in length, like 25/8. There's also 201 days in between the release and her death. That big Jesuit number they love so much, right? Jorge Mario Bergoglio equals 201, aka Pope Francis. He lived in Suite 201. It was called the Doma Sancta Marte, which equals 201. On and fucking on. Jesuit Order 201. Did I say that already? 2 towers became 0, became 1. Do we need to go into this? I think you guys know. So Dolly Parton equals Great Reset and financial collapse. So let's try this out here. Dolly Parton. Come on. Dolly Parton. Great Reset. It's coming, folks. It's coming down the pipe. You know what sucks is I don't have I'm not logged into Gematrinator. I have it in a different tab, but it's in a different browser window. It's Brave. I'm on Google Chrome. I usually like to use Brave, but crap. Yeah, I'm not even. Good grief. I don't even have the right ciphers here. Let me see here. So, find your matches. Show you what I'm talking about. So, Dolly Parton, in the same ciphers, has 152, 302, and 204, just like financial collapse. Same ciphers, triple overlap, right? Great Reset also has that 152, 302, and 204. It also has the 502, like Dolly Parton. It also has the double 55, just like the double 55 in Dolly Parton. It also has the 53, like the 53 in Dolly Parton, except in Dolly Parton, it's there not once, not twice, not thrice, but 4 times. So it's coming, folks. It's coming. The question is when. The question is when. It's not a matter of if, but when. So, yeah, I mean, be prepared. You know, I definitely need to get some of this money out of the bank myself and put it into some hard assets for sure. So Dolly Parton refused to let Elvis record her iconic song "I Will Always Love You," which equals 81, like RiTUAL. President Trump, 81. Like Dolly Rebecca Parton, 81. Like Timothy James Curry. I like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 connections, and they'll still call it a coincidence. You can't fucking you can lead a horse to water, right? But you can't make him drink, as they say. So let's continue. So Dolly also equals, oh, right. Dolly also equals reset here. Let's go here. Show this part because this is wild. This is even arguably more wild. Dolly equals reset. Dolly. Dolly like dollar, folks. You get it? It's right there. So Dolly, see this crossover here? 67, 68, 133. You see how they're kind of doing this crossover here? 93. They're crisscrossing. They're all crisscrossing. 242. It's this fascinating type of crisscross kind of thing going on here. Like it kind of makes me think of the ECLiPSE, but that's a reach maybe. But then in reverse primes and keypad, there's that double overlap there. Same ciphers. But I've noticed this before with a lot of connections where they have this crossover where you'll see these diagonal connections here like this. 67. I'm not sure if my cursor shows, but the 67 here, the 68 here. Of course, 67, right? Do we need to go into the 67? I might have some 6/7s in this decode, but so 133, big number as well. 93, of course, as well. I know some things about the 243, but it's escaping me. 68. There might be some 68s in my decode. 28. There's definitely some 28s because the 218 code comes up in this decode. But let's get back to it. So Dolly equals reset and a super match. And then go figure crypto boom. Look what crypto boom equals. Check out what crypto boom equals here, folks. Crypto boom. 128, right? But it also equals 825. Dolly's death day, right? It also equals 852, which is a permutation, a anagram, if you will, a numerical anagram of that. And of course, it just has to equal 47, not just 47, but 56, right? 47, government authority, DC, right? Vatican, I think London, right? On and on and on, man. It's escaping me because I got so much on my mind here. But 56, right? Society of Jesus. We don't need to go into that. Mind control. Everything psyopness and nonsensical. But the 128 we'll get into. Oh, there's another 47. How perfect, right? Anyway, they run and control crypto pretty much to a T, almost entirely. So, all right, I'm gonna give Cuts a break here because he's just fucking annoying, man. Really fucking annoying, dude. I don't even want to read your comments. They're nonsense. So Dolly, sorry, another singer, an actress, right? Singer. We see this theme with this repeating theme with the singer-actress thing going on. Again, Hayden Panettiere was a singer-actress. Bonnie Tyler, I'm pretty sure she was in at least 1 or 2 acting roles. But of course, Dolly Parton, singer-actor, right? Tim Curry, singer-actor. Now I really got to watch Rocky Horror Picture Show because I've only seen bits and pieces of it and never actually watched the whole thing. Then again, maybe it's for a reason. It's pretty much very. You can just tell it's a very depraved piece of film, but with all the cross-dressing and nonsense. But anyway, so another singer and actress named J.P. Morgan. You can't make this shit up, man. You can't make this shit up, but they do every single fucking day. Another singer actress, J.P. Morgan, announced as dying on Dolly's death day as well, and Tim Curry's death day as well. Can't make this shit up. The fall of the Dolly seems imminent at this point, like any month now. J.P. fucking Morgan. Oh man, I don't think I've ever met someone that spelled their name J-A-Y-E either. I don't even know if I've ever met a J-A-Y. You know, I mean, there's Jay and Silent Bob. There's yeah. Anyway. Oh, you know what? I did know a J actually, J Jacoby. But anyway, so Dolly Parton sacrificed 122 like banking institutions. Also 122 like global banking crisis, and then Dolly Parton equals Black Swan event. So check this out. Black Swan event. And if this doesn't convince you folks, you know, I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. So, of course, Black Swan event and financial collapse have overlaps, which makes a whole lot of sense, right? A triple super match. And then also they also have the 71 and the 80. Anyway, but Dolly Parton has that, again, that 152 like financial collapse and like Black Swan event. That 53 like Black Swan event. That quadruple 53 there in Dolly Parton's name. But so Black Swan event also, as you can see, matches up with Great Reset, which again makes more than enough sense if you have the eyes to see, and the brain to think, ears to hear, etc. So this is a find from Decoding Our Reality. He said the superb owl, right, will be 2996 months after the U.S. flag was founded. Well, on 9/11, it was reported that 2996 people allegedly died. How about that? How about that? So the same amount of people that supposedly allegedly died on 9/11, which was just 4 short of 3,000, right? That big death number 4, was the same amount of months, will be the same amount of months of the Super Bowl after the U.S. flag was founded. Very interesting find from Decoding Our Reality there. So thanks for that. Shout out to him if you guys aren't already over there. He has some very interesting finds and videos. But the 9/11 attacks were 1302 weeks prior to Dolly's death news. Well, in Gematria, 666 equals 132. And Biden, Mr. Sleepy Joe, was 1302 days old when Trump was born. Again, all these things are clearly coincidental. They definitely don't point to a scripted realm that we live in. And yeah, don't make anything of it, and just go back to your popcorn and your movies, folks. Or you could stay here. So, as I'm going to show, the Queen of Country Music equals 1581 in Latin, right? Remember, the early Jesuits spoke Latin, right? Anyway, so the Latin cipher is very relevant. But Queen of Country Music equals 1581, and that is the 1331 composite number, right? The 1331 composite, which is kind of like a 33 between the pillars, right? The 33 between the Twin Towers, right? The Freemasons, you know, behind and between the Blind 11 attacks, some might say. I mean, why is the Freemasonic logo? Why is this the Freemasonic logo, folks? Mind I ask. Freemasonic pillars. Why? Why are they between the pillars, I ask you? You ever wonder why? You ever wonder what this is about? I wonder. I really wonder what that's all about, with the pentagram between the towers and the eye of illumination. So, of course, as it says, Masonic pillars are symbolic representations of the twin brass columns Joaquin and Boaz that stood at the porch of King Solomon's temple. There you have it. So, here's an interesting 3 grand pillars, right? A lot of people don't know about the third pillar, but we can get into that at another time. Some might argue that is the One World Trade Center that now stands where the Twin Towers were not that third pillar? And that's up for debate, of course. That's up for discussion. But to continue here. So Dolly Parton had a show called Dolly and Carol in Nashville. It was released on Valentine's Day in '79. It was with Carol Burnett. Dolly and Carol Burnett were born 12 years, 8 months, 25 days apart. There's that 825 again, right? And the 128 code. So it's got that 128 and it's got the 825. Well, we're about to get into the 128. So there's a lot here. This is a lot with the 128. So be prepared for this. Let me see what you're saying here. The Latin cipher is not the same thing as real Latin. Shake my head, unbelievable. They just use a fake cipher name and you just believe it. Didn't you people used to call it Jewish cipher even though it's not actually Jewish? All right, anyway, so let me see what Older Bones is saying, because he actually has good comments instead of complete waste of time comments. Dolly 67, like human sacrifice, and 86, blood sacrifice 67 and 86, 25th of August 86, Jesuits 86, right? I didn't catch the reset. I knew it was 67 and it's definitely tied to it, right? President Donald John Trump won 28 days left in the year. I'm confused on this comment here. President Donald John Trump 128 and 128 days left in the year. Okay, right. Yep. Indeed. Actor Timothy J. Curry 107, like Sweet Transvestite. What he was in Rocky Horror, Ritual Sacrifice 107. Connected to Dolly Parton's Ouija board that says "Bye, y'all" 107 at the bottom. Unbelievable. These people are sick, man. World's Most Powerful Reset 107, definitely tied to Dolly. Thanks, Cody. Yeah, shout out to Cody. All right. Anyway, so Dolly died with 128 days left in the year. No gematria needed, folks. That's simple calculation. Dolly died with 128 days left in the year, exactly 218 days after her birthday. 128 days left in the year. 218 days after her birthday. Death equals 218. Her eclipse was just on. All right, again, take a break, dude. I'm just gonna keep. Why can't I do a? Can I do a longer timeout? How do I do this? Can I, instead of putting a timeout, can I just like give you 10 minutes? It seems like it's like 2 minutes each time. Now it's not even letting me time you out. I don't want to ban you. You know what I mean? But so right. So the eclipse was just on 12/8, right? Dolly's death date was 12/8 on the Julian calendar, the 128 bridge code. She even has a song called Bridge, or The Bridge, rather. It was 152 days after the Key Bridge ritual. Remember the Francis Scott Key Bridge ritual, folks? Well, Dolly Parton equals 152. The bridge was hit. Ready for this? The bridge was hit by the Dolly. You get it? Like Salvador Dali, but Dolly, like Dolly Parton. You can't make this shit up, man. Are you seeing this, folks? The same bridge released in the song Bridge, The Bridge, released in 1968. A year of years, right? The 9/11 catalyst. The year that 9/11 became the National Emergency Dialing Code. The year that World Trade Center construction began. And George W. Bush graduated Skull and Bones. And 2001 A Space Odyssey was released with the Black Millennium Hilton pre-programming symbolism of the monolith, right? That's exactly what that was in 2001 A Space Odyssey. It was the Black Millennium Hilton Hotel that still stands there to this day, folks, in case you weren't aware. Do I need to show you what I'm talking about here? The one that seemingly had some type of I don't want to say Mandela effect, but seemingly the spelling of millennium changed. And I wasn't the only one who saw it. The dark, distinctive black glass skyscraper of the Millennium Hilton Hotel stood directly across the World Trade Center on 9/11, serving as a major forward triage and eyewitness location during the attacks. And go figure, It's at what? 55 Church Street. Well, what does 55 equal in Gematria? Satan equals 55, right? Church of Satan. I mean, you can basically say 55 Church Street is another way of saying Church of Satan Street. This shit is just absolutely sick. So let me just show you a picture so you see what I'm talking about here. There it is. Right there. Absorbing all that energy. Just a complete loosh sponge, if you will. Look at that. Look at that. You see it there? Look at that thing. I mean, unbelievable, man, how they do this shit. But we're coming up on the big 25, folks. So are we going to see something else pop off? I would not rule it out in the slightest. I mean, can you just imagine if they pulled something on the level of 9/11 again? I'm not saying that I see it happening, but I don't rule it out. Why would I? You got to be prepared for anything. And again, don't forget, it was 10/28, the moment the North Tower fell, right? For that 128 again. It's a big number, a big, big number. I mean, it's crazy how it's just right there, seemingly like right there in the middle. Perfectly situated. Look at that, man. Absolutely sick. Absolutely sick. So, to continue here. So Dolly played Ferris in a movie, right? Jake Ferris. And I think the movie was maybe Rhinestone, if I remember correctly. Well, anyway, Dolly played Ferris in a movie, and the giant Ferris wheel recently, a few years ago, got moved from Golden Gate, right? And where did it get moved? I'm pretty sure it got moved to Pigeon Forge, which is right where Dollywood is. So just to add to the 128, 218, 812 code, continuing, the stock market crash equals 218. Turning Point USA equals 218, right? As we come up on the 1-year anniversary of the Charlie Kirk PSYOP anniversary. So, again, which is the day before 9/11, right? So, Turning Point USA is also, of course, relevant because, think about it, turning point, right? We're at a turning point, folks. Some might say that we are at year 0 right now. The analysts, what is it called? Analysts. I hope that I hope that I have that here in this decode. I hope that I included it. I'm pretty sure I have it in the Hayden Panettiere decode that I haven't even uploaded yet, the phone one. I mean, I did the laptop one, but anyway, so yeah, remember that the 1-year anniversary is coming up one day before 9/11, 25th. To continue, the current top of the Dow Jones was the day leaving 218 days remaining in the year, August 5th. The spelling Rebecca is mentioned one time in the KJV. You might be wondering what's the relevance of Rebecca. Rebecca is Dolly's middle name. Her name is Dolly Rebecca Parton, right? So yeah, the spelling Rebecca is mentioned one time in the KJV, and it's in Romans 9:10, right? Again, Charlie Kirk's death date, alleged death date, psyopaganza, propaganda apocalypse date. The spelling Rebecca with a K is in KJV 28 times. So you have your 1 and you have your 28. Anyway, so Dolly's 28th solo album is called Rainbow. And it was also, in case you weren't aware, the Wizard of Oz anniversary yesterday on Dolly Parton's alleged death day. Dolly, get ready for this. Dolly had an Aunt Dorothy. It's like we're living in the Wizard of Oz. Can you see the wizard behind the curtain, aka Arturo Sosa, the Black Pope, and then the wizard behind him, who's telling him what to do, aka Pepe Orsini, the Grey Pope? And then, of course, the demons and entities and principalities behind him, which are probably fallen angels, maybe, or call them what you will. So, to continue here. So, Dolly had a song called Full Circle. Full Circle. How do I make this? Let me see. Oh, you know what? Wow, I just realized this whole time. Could I have been more full screen here? I guess not. All right, anyway, so Dolly had a song called Full Circle. Full Circle, Dolly Parton equals Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Dolly played Ferris again in a show called, I think it was Grindstone, right? Also, Full Circle equals Ferris Wheel. So, Full Circle, Dolly Parton. Full Circle, Dolly Parton. My bad, I had the little, okay, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Bueller. He's not here. Full Circle. And Ferris Wheel, right? Ferris Wheel. And if you tapped into Mr. Decoding with Cody's lives recently, I haven't been able to catch all of them, but I've caught a few, and he's definitely on to something here with this code here. But let me show you what I'm talking about, and you're going to see why this is relevant in a second here. But as you can see here, Full Circle, Dolly Parton, and Ferris Bueller are a not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7. Sorry, 7. A 7x triple. Sorry, what would that be? Sextuplet or septuplet? I forget how to say it. It's a 7x overlap here. Perfect. It also has that pi, right? It also has that 314. It also has that upside down and backwards 911. Unbelievable. It also has that 100. Whoops. Go back here. Full circle, folks. You get it? So full circle has that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5x overlap perfectly in matching ciphers. 1014, which I think we might get into, if I remember correctly. 169, which I'm pretty sure is that Jesuit number, right? Of course, 40. Of course, go figure. Full circle also has that 47. 47 degrees on the Masonic compass, right? It has 47 quite a few times. 4 times. 47 4 times, as well as 44. So, and then let me just look at this one more time. Again, so Ferris Bueller's Day Off also has that 226. It makes you think of 2026, right? So you're seeing what you're seeing a lot, or maybe you're not seeing a lot of, is Ferris wheels popping up all around the world. People are reporting, and not really sure why. Most people don't really get what this is all about. But it kind of reminds me of these old world fairs they used to do. And, you know, you start looking into all that Tartaria stuff, or better yet, old world stuff. And, yeah, it's very bizarre how much history has been hidden from us. But, all right, let me just ban them, because, let me just ban them. Why is it not letting me ban them, dude? All right, you're out of here, buddy. It's just annoying, man. You find a better use of your time. That's all I can say. That's all I can say, man. For you, you know, I'll pray for you, man. I'll pray for you, bud. It's gonna be all right. Everything's gonna be okay. Just relax. Take a breather. Smoke a bowl. Have a snack. Dolly had a song. Oh, we did this. So Nashville. This is how this ties in very relevantly, right? Nashville, where Dolly died, is allegedly the only town in America where the downtown is in the center of the city, and all the highways and major roads at one time were formed in concentric circles around the downtown area. Do you get it? Dolly Parton, full circle Dolly Parton, like Ferris Bueller, Ferris. She played Ferris. For full circle equals Ferris wheel. Nashville with the circle, concentric circles with the downtown in the center. So to continue, 9/5, September 5th, the Ferris wheel video was removed off the Heliofont channel. I think I brought this up on Zach's stream earlier. I called in for the first time in quite a while. The Heliofont Ferris wheel video, aka Porte de Vue, or Vue, I don't know how to say that. It's very French. Was 3 years and 60 days before Dolly died, right? For 360 degrees in a circle, right? Well, decode equals 36, go figure. And geometry equals 36. And there's just so many other 36s I could bring up, but we won't. We'll save that for another time. But it all ties into this geometric mathematical these connections and sequences. So Hayden Panettiere, again, of course, allegedly died at 36 years old in August, right? Just like Marilyn Monroe, just like Princess Diana, and I'm sure so many others. Prince Diana, I wrote. I don't think she's a dude, but who knows? That was just a typo. So there's something huge to the 36, right? Again, 666, the 36th triangular number. 36 is also kind of like 3 6s. And 36 is also very near and dear to my life. My grandma was born in 36. I was born on the 6th. My little sister was born on the 6th. 6 times 6, 36. And there's just so much more there I could go into. But my older sister's 36 right now. Anyway, but to continue somewhat with the 36, dead in Nashville, Tennessee equals 1336. The Jesuit order, 1336, both in Latin. And keep in mind, the early Jesuits primarily spoke Latin. And 1336 reminds of all the 136s, right? Like Saros 136, which on Trump's past 80th birthday with the UFC thing at the White House was exactly 666 years to the day after the Saros eclipse cycle started. The Saros 136 eclipse cycle started exactly 666 years prior to Trump's 80th birthday. Go figure. Let me see what you're saying here. Yeah, the bridge was hit at 1:28 a.m. The Francis Scott Key Bridge, indeed. Bridge collapse equals 1:28. Yeah, we did a great collab stream and a non-collab stream as well on the Scott Key Bridge back when that happened. And there was so much there. It's just, it never ends with the connections. But while waiting for something big to happen again, yeah. Well, I'm not wishing it to happen, of course. But I put up a decode a couple days ago about the guy from HBO's Oz that ties to all of this. Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out. Yeah, well, he was a mod. I don't know if I don't know. I banned him, so I don't know what that does. But yeah, you got to do what you got to do, Jen. It's just, it's good. It's good for his health too, because now he'll most likely not tune in here and waste his time, right? And ours and everyone else's. So, I don't hate the guy. I don't get it, man. What's good, man? Amongst us are predators in the house. So let's get back to it. So we're showing some crazy connections here. Okay. So the 136s, right? And there's so much more with the 136, on top of just the Saros 136 eclipse cycle, which of course we're going to see a Saros 136 eclipse next year, just under a year from now, on August 2nd, right? 2/8, kind of like that 128 code we were just touching on. But anyway, so yet another Madonna and Mary connection, right? Virgin Mary. Well, during her 1992 tour and 1993 performances at Dollywood, Dolly performed a humorous and famous cover of Madonna's hit Like a Virgin. Dude, do you get it? Madonna, Virgin Mary, do you remember, guys, when we were watching, if you tuned into my Hayden Panettiere stream with Hayden on the Maury show, talking about the Virgin Mary and how Virgin Mary equals 136, like Mother Mary, like, what was the other one? Like Virgin Birth, I think was another one. On and on. So just go figure that there would actually be this Dolly Madonna crossover, just to add to all the Madonna, Hayden Panettiere, Princess Diana, Marilyn Monroe, and now Dolly overlaps and coincidences, as some might say. synchronicities, as some might also call them. But in this case, I don't think they're synchronicities, folks. I think this is the script playing out, and we're kind of decoding it in a sense. It's like, in the Matrix, they're all in the underground, and there's the code. I mean, this is deciphering that exact matrix, that green matrix, that code. That's what this is. That's how I see this. Not to say we're like rats dressed in ratty clothes. I don't want to say rats, but people dressed in ratty clothes, in in underground dungeon. But these rituals are definitely should be. You would think they're being done and orchestrated by people in a dungeon. So to continue though, Dolly's alleged death, and I stress alleged. Was she ever alive in the first place? Was she even real? Was she organic human? I mean, she organic robotoid? Who knows, right? But her alleged death was 189 days into the Fire Horse year, right? Which started with an eclipse, if you remember. Well, Dolly's album, Jolene, just to bring up Jolene again, it released on 18/9, right? The 18th of September. Sorry, the 18th of September. Jolene is also Hayden's middle name, get this, in Nashville, the show that she starred in. And Dolly was allegedly admitted into the Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center on Hayden Leslie Panettiere's death day and died there in Nashville 4 days later after she was admitted. Just like Hayden died 4 days after the eclipse. I mean, come on, man. 4, the number associated with death. To continue with the 189, well, Dolly Rebecca Parton equals 189. Tennessee Titans equal 189. You'll see why this is relevant in a second. Memphis, Tennessee equals 189, right? Brave New World equals 189. Welcome, folks, to the Brave New World. Well, Memphis, Tennessee, right, where the Tennessee Titans, I'm pretty sure, play, extremely relevant, right? Because in Remember the Titans, remember, Hayden was in Remember the Titans, right? Based on the Tennessee Titans in Memphis, where Aretha Franklin and Elvis Presley both reportedly died on the same day, and all 3 on the same day in the same, well, not in the same place, but Aretha and Elvis were both in Memphis. And now Dolly in Nashville, like how Hayden starred in Nashville, and one of the last episodes of Heroes was Brave New World. So very relevant with this 189. I'm sure there's so much more with the 189 that we could find. But like the Brave New World, we're transitioning into more and more by the day, seemingly, right? Wow, it should come of no surprise also that 189 written as words equals 201. It all comes back to the Jesuits. It all comes back to Society of Jesus. All roads lead to Rome, whether it's London, well, the Vatican, I'd say the Vatican. The Vatican is Rome, right? Switzerland, DC, I mean, freaking Bali, probably in many respects. Definitely Dubai. Do I need to list all the? I mean, everywhere. All roads lead to Rome, folks. If you can't see it now, you never will. Brave New World, the TV show, released July 15th, 2020, and was canceled after 1 season. Gee, I wonder why. A lot of times, very good shows, I noticed they cancel after 1 season, just like well, I think the Utopia US version was only 1 season, but I never even really watched too much of that. I watched the UK version, and I watched all but the last episodes. I think like 11 out of 12 episodes, because I just don't want to finish the show, man. But I will soon enough, one of these days. Anyway, so Brave New World, the TV show, was canceled after 1 season. So if you take that date that it was released to Diana's death anniversary, just this past just this coming death anniversary here in 4 days. There's that 4 again. It'll be 6 years, 6 weeks, and 6 days. So this is actually, everyone says we're always decoding after the fact. This is before the fact. This is a few days from now. If you take Brave New World's release date to Diana's coming death anniversary, it's 6 years, 6 weeks, and 6 days, or 2239 days, which is the 333rd prime number. Perfect, right? And again, if you know about that 239 code, the 923, right? The Osiris code, if you want to call it that, like how the Pope on September 23rd came out and approached the podium, I think, at exactly 9:23. I think I've mistaked in the past and said he began speaking at 9:23, but I actually think he began speaking like at 9:32, which is another, it's just another variation of 9:23, a permutation, if you want to call it that, anagram, whatever. But I think it was him getting out of the car. Yeah, he approached the White House and got out of his whatever Rolls Royce or whatever it was, limo. Or whatever car it was. Maybe it was, oh no, it was a Fiat. I think it was a Fiat. He wants to seem modest, right? But it was at 9:23 exactly that he got out of the car and met with Mr. Obama, Mr. Barack Hussein Osama bin Laden Biden. Anyway, to continue here. The wiki title, the official, title on Wiki, Brave New World American TV series equals 136. There's that 136 again. Remember, it's 666 years since the first Saros 136 eclipse cycle in 1360, 136, on Trump's birthday. And next year's August eclipse, again, is a Saros 136. So this 136 is huge for more than a few reasons. And, the fact that Trump's 80th birthday, when Satan equals 80, the fact that Trump's 80th birthday, aka Satan's 80th birthday, was exactly to the day 666 years after Saros 136 eclipse started is just, it's incredible, man. It's incredible how they have this shit figured out to a science. It really is remarkably mind-blowing. But to move along here, Dolly Parton, love is like a butterfly, right? So future Peter Petrelli in Heroes says he stepped on too many butterflies. Peter's mother constantly talked about the butterfly effect. I'm sure you're aware of Operation Mockingbird, right? Well, a country show called Monarch featured or premiered on Fox, which of course Fox and Gematria equals 666, right? But a country show called Monarch. So you got the country theme, you got the Monarch mind control, Operation Mockingbird, Monarch, butterfly symbolism here. But it premiered on 9/11. Go figure. Exactly 3 years before this coming 25th anniversary of 9/11. Exactly 22 years after 9/11. That was exactly 1444 days before Dolly's robo-death. Robo-Dolly, right? Dolly, the human sheep. The vaxxed and taxed sheep. Was she really vaxxed? Who knows, right? Was she even real? Who knows? But it was exactly 1444 days before Dolly's death. The Jesuit order equals 144, right? It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. And by perfect, I mean entirely scripted satanic evil. So to continue here, Dolly posted I Ain't Dead Yet 1 day before Order 322, aka Skull and Bones anniversary. And it was also 322 days before her death. Absolutely insane. Now, why is it that background's gone again? That's fucking bizarre. Let me see if I can make this bigger too, because no, it won't let me, huh? Oh yeah, it will. Oh, okay. Well, that's a little better. That's a little better. Let me see how that looks really quick. Yeah, it's a little better. Anyway, so to add to the 322, right? She also died 3 months and 22 days after the anniversary of her song release, The Bridge. And go figure, it was the 58th anniversary, right? Freemasonry equals 58. Big Freemasonry number. It was the, what was it? The Venezuela earthquake that they were saying at least 58,000 buildings destroyed, right? Like they had to tell you. Not 60,000, not over 50,000, at least 58,000. Wow. How did they figure that out? Really? How did they figure that out? How exactly, I gotta know, did they figure out it was 58,000? Did I do the Miley and 825 connection? I think I did. Yes, I think I did already. Do you get the link on the Jesuit instructions I put in your post? Yes, sir. Thank you. I barely got the chance to look it over very much, but I plan to because I'm sure there's a lot there, of course. So I appreciate that. That's what I appreciate, is good, worthwhile links that will add to my knowledge base and add value to my, intellect, and just like, you know, I enjoy learning. I don't enjoy slop. Even though we watched that little AI short, which was complete AI slop, but with Dolly and Tim together. But we're all walking and talking spells too. We counter this Kabbalistic magic. Yeah, that's the goal. That is the goal. See, I don't even say amen because it makes me think of Amun Ra, which is the Lord of the Underground. I just say, and so it is, or hallelujah, which honestly, if I remember correctly, actually hallelujah might be a kind of a spell too, because it kind of, I think, ties to Ellelujah, which is like a entity of some, a lower entity or something, but I'd have to look that up again. But anyway, let's continue here, so I don't go on for too long here. So again, so yeah, so she also died 3 months and 22 days after the anniversary of the song release, The Bridge. Well, as I'm sure you know, 322 is a nod to Genesis 3:22, right? Knowledge of good and evil. It also symbolizes human DNA, right? Transhumanism, if you know about the changing of the genomic sequence from what I think is 323 base pairs to 322. If I might be botching that and saying that wrong, but they basically want to add or subtract a genomic sequence or something to get to their 322. That's another meaning to that. But of course, Genesis 3:22 as well, right? And of course, Genesis means in the beginning. We went over that in the Hayden stream, I'm pretty sure, and I'm sure we'll touch on it again. But from Trump's blood moon birth to this Friday's blood moon will be 962 months. And they're saying that Friday's blood moon will be 96.2% covered in blood. You can't make it up. You really can't make it up. They sure do, but you can't. And then Imagination Library, Dolly's Imagination Library equals 8/27, which is the start date of the eclipse, if I'm not mistaken. Let me fact check that. What is the start date of the eclipse? What is the start date and start time of this eclipse? Yep, the 27th. Oh, look at that. It begins at 9:23. Was I not just talking about 9:23? Holy shit. And it's followed by the partial phase at 10:33. Was I not just talking about the 1:33? Unbelievable. So the penumbral phase begins at 9:23 Eastern p.m. and it's followed by the partial phase at 10:33 p.m. Eastern. Unreal. So Dolly died right before this eclipse, right? Which is a Saros 138 eclipse. Well, go figure, she died with 18 gold records. 18 gold records equals 138. And of course, Donald Trump equals 138. Evil genius, folks. Absolute evil genius. So that's what I had for you there. Quite lengthy, I would say, what I've compiled here. I definitely, I got to give a shout out to, I think I already gave a shout out, right, to Decoding Our Reality, Decoding with Cody, Gematria Effect News, aka Number Games, I think Gematria 85. Well, not to say that I, actually, I think I only, let me see, I think it was only this one from, whatever, it doesn't matter. Shout out to them because they're doing good work regardless. I need to start to, figure out a way to obviously better present this. Maybe download or start using Canva, like so many people do, and hopefully it's all free because I don't plan on paying for anything like that. But so okay, we already watched it here. I had another, I think, video. Oh, look at that. A message from the family of Dolly Parton from Dolly Parton's YouTube channel, which I didn't even know she had one. And it's 2 minutes and 15 seconds. I'm surprised they didn't make it 2 minutes and 16 seconds for that 6 times 6 times 6 little riddle. But it looks like Mr. Clint is live. Dodgers paid tribute to Dolly Parton and Tim Curry. Of course they do. You know, they love to do these deaths in threes. But I don't think they're over yet, folks. I definitely think there's another one coming after the eclipse. I definitely think there's another one coming after the eclipse. I could be wrong, of course, but that's just what I think. So that is pretty much what I have for you, folks. I don't think there's any reason to go too long. You know, we didn't really get too many people in here tonight, unfortunately. I did start a little bit late, but something big is coming. I can smell it. I can feel it. I can taste it. So I think we can maybe finish off with a shortish kind of video here from Mrs. 7 Grains of Salt. Dolly Parton allegedly dies. So thanks for coming through, folks.
This is an ABC News special report.
And good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kira Phillips. We're interrupting your regular programming and coming on the air because
your regularly scheduled programming, folks. Got a program.
As legendary actress, singer, songwriter, and entrepreneur Dolly Parton has passed away at the age of 80. Her achievements reaching far beyond her humble country roots. Parton was known as the Queen of Country, her career spanning more than 6 decades, including 50 albums. She won 11 Grammys, 3 Emmys, and received 2 Oscar nominations. She was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and at the Kennedy Center Honors in 2006. Born in a 2-room log cabin in 1946 in rural Tennessee, the 4th of 12 children, Parton would write about growing up dirt poor. She began performing as a child and moved to Nashville the day after she graduated from high school. She quickly found success too, breaking into the country top 10 in 1966. So many of her hits like Joshua, Here You Come Again, and Jolene, now part of the fabric of the American songbook, and branching out to Hollywood with 9 to 5, which later became a Broadway musical. Throughout her life, Parton was a dedicated philanthropist. Her literacy program, Dolly's Imagination Library, well, it's mailed out millions of books to children all over the world over the decades. And during the pandemic, she gave $1 million to Vanderbilt University Medical Center's research efforts and encouraged others who could, well, make similar donations. Dolly Parton leaves a lasting impact on American music and all of our lives.
All right, hope everyone's doing good. Yes, what kind words they had to say about Dolly, a philanthropist. I love hearing that one, right? Well, I'll try to throw in a few fun facts here. How about the brick wall is a clear sign of being a club member? There's a before and after, maybe her boob job, you know? I went on and commented on one Instagram page just saying, yeah, I honestly believe that this right here is a man, but hey, I can't say. I'm going to leave that to other better experts on this, but you can clearly see with all the symbolism and things she's won, how she's the godmother of Miley Cyrus. Wow. Whether she's the queen or the king, well, I'm going to say king, but hey, what do I know, right? The king of country. Yeah, she's won several awards. I'm not going to go over all her awards with you guys, but seeing this picture right here just kind of had me thinking back just a couple years back, you know, several awards. I'm not going to go over all her awards with you guys, but seeing this picture right here just kind of had me thinking back just a couple years back, you know, about these kind of things that were going on. That's the thought that.
Oh, I apologize. I was muted that whole time. That's unfortunate. Wow, that's really unfortunate. What I was saying was.
What do I know, right? The king of country.
What was I muted? Was I muted when I was just talking? Can somebody confirm that I was muted? Yes or no? Was I 5x5 or was I muted when I was just talking about this picture here? Anybody? Was I muted? Somebody? Give me a comment. Was I good? Did you hear me or was I muted? I was muted. Okay, so as you can see in this picture here, you have Dolly with Smokey Robinson in the top right, who my grandma interviewed years and years ago. R.I.P. to, I think, both to him as well, I think. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but and then you got Stephen Pedoberg, of course, right? And then I'm not sure who these 2 chumps are on the bottom, but I'm sure there's some Master Mason clowns, but yeah, anyway, let's continue. Oh, and as I was saying, this is, of course, on the bottom left, Dolly in the Grand Masonic Lodge in Nashville, just over 20 years before her alleged passing. checkerboard floor. It's all there. But let's continue. Shout out to Cindy. And much
Yeah,
love.
she's won several
We'll be out of here after this.
awards. I'm not going to go over all her awards with you guys, but seeing this picture right here just kind of had me thinking back just a couple years back, about these kind of things that were going on. That's the thought that went through my mind. I don't know. Share your thoughts. There's hand gestures, all kinds of them, especially the M, hand sign, or it's a number 3, however you want to put it. But we know she was a club member. You can clearly see it with everything that she did. We wouldn't even know of her unless she did become a club member, right? And of course, it's all a secret. I found a few of these pictures on that side. I don't know anything more about this guy, but just thought I'd share. But we know they're all in the same club. Yeah. And she has tons of
yeah. Shout out to Brandon. Brandon's good people. She grabbed a picture there from Brandon Kroll, Krollology 101. While I might not agree with everything he says, as well as Cindy and their worldviews and religious beliefs and stuff, but great finds and the refutation of dispensationalism and all that, and false eschatology, etc. Yeah, check out Brandon Kroll on IG. I've been meaning to collab with him actually. Talked to him before, but let's continue here. You got Russell Brand, of course.
Thought I'd share, but we know they're all in the same club. Yeah. And she has tons of butterflies everywhere, and we know what that represents, right? And she has it. I think this is a picture of Dollywood. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I know that there's a lot of pictures with her and butterflies, and that represents MK Ultra.
There's Uma Thurman, of course, Kill Bill.
And I'm not going to show the video, but boy, did she ever, like they said, she gave money, she promoted, she said it was a smart thing for everyone to go get it. Sure. And also her talking and toasting to the god Azel.
The god Azel, like Azazel, right? And of course, she's with Sandra Bullock, the lady who was on Ellen, right? Talking about putting baby foreskin, Filipino baby foreskin on her face, right? But let's continue. Absolutely despicable, these people.
Well, all I can say is I know what club member she is. Yes.
Rotary Club, of course, another Masonic institution.
You can clearly see she too was a part of the Rotary Club, right? And I'll leave the links. And she says this partnership.
Wow.
Is a marriage made in heaven. Wow. And by the way, the day she was born to the day she dies, look at that. There's a 9 to 5.
Perfect, man. Perfect.
Isn't that interesting? Right? Anyway, and also...
And let's not forget that Catholic equals 95, right? The 95 theses, or the 95 theses, as I like to call them.
J.D. Vance posted on his Instagram that Trump announces that the American flag will be lowered throughout the U.S. for 1 week period. Wow, in honor of Dolly Parton. That's an American icon. You can read the rest there, but honestly, seriously, why? Or should I say, what the face? I love the way Modern Family has that. I mean, she's a celebrity. Who cares? But we know the world's a stage. It's all I can keep reminding myself over and over again, because they're all affiliated with each other. They're all in these clubs, whether you can find them there or around the same people that are on these clubs. And all you'd have to do is research. I'm just showing you things that I've easily found and just reminding myself, as well as you guys, that we can't trust any of them. That's all. And even the Bible warns of all the deception in the last days. And yeah, I mean, seriously, she looks like a clown. No offense. Sure, I enjoyed some of her music. Even here in Finland, they've been playing Dolly Parton recently. But we know who they all are. We know. And that's probably why they've been playing her music more and more lately, because, it's all a big theater show. They're all in the family, and they're all affiliated to each other. Just thought I'd share my 2 thoughts, my 2 cents, as we say, and know your enemy. And that's exactly it. All we can do is trust in the word and trust in Jesus and trust that he will provide us with the truth through the Holy Spirit and remind us, and that he will keep us on the straight and narrow until the very end. Because deception is all around us. And it clearly says that even in the last days, there are seducing spirits and doctrine. And don't next time.
I think because, Lindsay, I think people all felt like she touched them personally. Like she did reach out to hundreds of millions with her music and her movies and her television appearances, but it was as if she laid a hand on you personally, that you heard her lyrics, you heard her voice, you heard her entertaining you in a way that few other artists ever have been able to connect with an audience that way. She was one of one. I think any 2 Americans could have had a conversation about how great Dolly Parton is, and about who can you possibly say that. She touched people in a unique way. She was, to so many people, a kind of guardian angel, and maybe she'll always be.
Oh, you just always seem to be so happy. That's the Botox. But seriously, I'm a very sensitive person. I feel everything to the core.
She's just magical. I'm not sure she's entirely human.
Everyone love her.
She's just magical. I'm not sure she's entirely human. She seems to just operate from pure joy and love.
I'm not sure she's entirely human. Man, truer words are never said.
Love her.
She's just magical. I'm not sure she's entirely human. She seems to just operate from pure joy and love.
She's a galaxy. She is one of one. It's truly extraordinary that God should bless someone with so many gifts in one person.
Well, isn't that perfectly fitting as we close out here? She's a galaxy, as you heard from Nicole Kidman's husband, Keith Urban there. As you can see in the top right, a galaxy of stars, right? You got Mr. Jim Carrey, of course, who's hasn't passed yet, allegedly, but with his number 23 kind of creeping. You got Elvis, you got David Bowie, the guy who came out with the song Heroes. You got Marilyn Monroe, the other blonde that died in August at 36. You got Madonna, the one who seemingly is synced with so much of this stuff. You got Brittany Murphy, Michelle Trachtenberg, Princess Diana, another blonde at 36 in August to drop. Yeah, You got James Franco at the bottom right with his 2319. A galaxy of stars, right? Aretha Franklin, another one to die on the same day as Hayden and Elvis. Both in Nashville, of course, or in Memphis, rather. Like how Hayden was in Nashville. Like how Dolly just died in Nashville. Like how Dolly died on Aaliyah's 25th year anniversary, death anniversary, when she died right before 9/11 in a plane crash. Like how Dolly just died before the 25th anniversary of 9/11. I mean, wow. 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 Wow, folks. So, with that being said, I think we're going to get out of here. I think you get it, right? I think you get it. I think I don't really have to tell you much more. I think you can see the obvious. We'll be back with the Tim Curry decode and connection web, if you will. It looks like I wasn't sharing the screen, but Holly Weird strikes again, folks. Holly Weird strikes again. They always do it in threes, but I wouldn't rule out the possibility that a fourth is on the way, folks. I wouldn't rule it out one bit. So, don't be a chump, folks. Don't be such a chicken squat, as Dolly so eloquently put it. Just go get the thing. Trust the experts. We're out of here, y'all. Much love. I'll see y'all soon. Peace, peace, peace.